Hello and welcome back to another video for Final Fantasy XIV with me, Meoni. This time we're looking at a Glamour set added in today's patch at the time of recording 6.05, which is the Happiness set. This is something you can craft with Cloth of Happiness, which is a rare item that drops inside the new Excitatron 6000 treasure map dungeon, much like the Dungeons of Ligaia and other expansions before it. The new one is a rare portal that opens when you're doing the Cambaria skin, or however you want to pronounce that, the 8-player treasure maps. The portal will open and the chest inside, upon defeating enemies, has a chance to give you this, including the last boss and all the bosses leading up to it, including the gambling minigame and so on and so forth. Some of the things that you can craft with it then, in fact there's only 4 items in total, is the Glamour set, 3 of which are Levelwork, Masterwork, level 9 recipes, which I'll show over on the left side of the screen for you, and one of the items is for the tailors of the weavers, which is a Master Weaver 9 recipe. As you can see, these items are equipable by all classes, all genders, everybody in the game level 1 and above, and because it is a chest piece, a hands, legs and feet, both Viera and Hrothgar will have no problem equipping this, as it does not come with a headpiece, which I think is probably intentional. So this is what the set looks like then. We managed to get the enough cloth then today to actually craft this. Let's try this on. In fact, let's equip this. As you can see, boop, boop, beep, bop, boop. This then is the new Glamour set, as you can see. The initial thoughts from me then is Frodo Baggins. Definitely the Shire, in my personal opinion, especially the way that that cape sits. However, unlike a lot of endwalker's capes that have been added, especially the aphorism ones, we do actually have tails enabled, yes. Unfortunately, the aphorism, not asarism, they might as well be called asarism, the aphorism tomes previously that everybody was farming from normal mode dungeons and things like that, and expert roulette, the capes through those chest pieces, which affected striking, scouting, fending and maiming, if I remember correctly, actually turned off tails for Auras, Makote and so on. And it's nice to see that this particular Glamour item strays away from that, and they've decided to re-enable tails for all of that. Of course, it still clips, but we still prefer the clipping than having that racial identity denied from us, or at least in my opinion. So then, as you can see, the set, if we get nice and close to this, let's go into G-pose. Pause Meoni there. You can see there is basically a leather clasp at the top. Ignore the necklace. That's actually, you know, just from the from Zodiac actually. But we have lovely stitching on here. But yeah, it reminds me so heavily of a Hobbit's adventuring outfit more than anything else. I don't know if anybody else gets that feel from this, but I think it absolutely looks like that. Of course, we have wrists instead of gloves. It's just these 2 sections over here, which are red and blue, with a blue gem there and green there. But there's nothing on the other side. So I would say that the hands are probably a miss in terms of glamour. I mean, unless you like that a lot. But personally, you know, if I'm going to go for a glove slot, I'm not going to spend that much gil on something that's just 3 pieces of leather. The pants themselves, though, are very interesting. We'll look at those separately in a moment. And then the feet look like this, which I think are quite nice feet, actually. They're leather, just below the knee here, shin height. Very nice leather boots, actually. I quite like those quite a bit. We'll look at dyes in just a moment, but first of all, like I say, I would like to show you exactly what you get per item so you don't get that confused. So let's take off the pants first of all. I don't have armory space, so there we go. So this is basically where the chest ends. If I didn't show you this, you might think that this, the belt section was part of the pants, but it's actually not. It's part of the robe, so that might obviously alter the way you look at this, or maybe alter the decision of purchase. But yeah, that's how the chest works, and obviously vice versa if we were to equip only the legs. Boop, beep, boop. There we go. There's something else to show you, and we might as well go into G-pose for that. Turn off depth of field. Sorry, I keep forgetting to turn that off. I quite like these, actually. The legs on their own, they're a very, very nice set of legs. Trousers. Very nice. But yeah, I quite like these actually. They're some of the nicest legs in the game. So yeah, very cool. Very cool indeed. So now let's move on to dye options and have a look what these look like dyed. I think that's on everybody's mind right now. So as you can see then with the dye options, pretty much it's a bit of a disappointment. I actually prefer the color, at least for the chest piece, it's a bit of a disappointment. You still have that washed out sort of color in the center, and the rest of the fabric sort of changes color. It's not the palette I would have wanted to dye, but at the same time, this is a problem with a dye functionality in an MMORPG that doesn't provide multiple palette dye options. This is something I will complain about until the cows come home into the far future. We do need an update to the dye system and the Glamour system in general, and I think the obvious thing that people would want to scream from the rooftops would be, can we please have multiple sections of gear dyeable rather than just a simple dye palette with one color per piece? Or at least, if they are going to do this, make it so that the most important part of fabric dyes and the other fabric either stays perfectly the same as it usually is, or doesn't go these horrible faded colors and actually dyes. That's my only request. The legs and boots dye quite well. I can't really say much about the wrists because, well, they're just on one hand. But yeah, I actually prefer this undyed, and it's quite a nice piece of gear. So anyway, what did you think about these pieces of gear? Do you plan to go and hunt these through treasure maps? I know a bunch of people asked where this was from, so hopefully that not only serves the purpose of that video, but also actually, you know, shows you all of the functionality of this, the dye options and stuff like that. But yes, thank you so much to Mega and my friend Para for helping me get through some treasure map dungeons today, and of course Fran as well for helping me as well. Massively important to have friends and people around you to help, especially to make these videos possible. I couldn't do it without all three of you, so much appreciated. Anyway, much love, more videos like this on the way from 6.05 onwards and before then for Endwalker, and I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.